Ahoy and welcome to another conversation with Sir Lumber. I'm Daily Beaton. How are you doing today, Sir Lumber?
Oh, just great on this fine evening night, which I won't timestamp by saying the exact day, but could be any day. You have no idea when we did this.
Done in late November. We're making lots of really forward-thinking predictions.
Very
here.
productive.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about our last minute, or not so last minute,
or very early predictions.
Or very early predictions for what we might see, what we might hope to see at the Game Awards, as far as the advertisements we all go to watch.
Right. Well, just like the Super Bowl, right?
The 3-hour commercial I sit down and enjoy watching.
Right. Hey, it's about video games, man.
We'll talk about the commercials I want to see.
Yeah.
But first, before we go through that, let's go through our predictions for the Game of the Year winner and the Player's Choice Game of the Year winner. Cool. So I think the first thing I want to do real quick is we're going to go through our predictions for Game of the Year winner and what we want to win Game of the Year based off of the nominees. Just a quick reminder, the Game of the Year nominees are Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, It Takes Two, and Deathloop. Sir Lumber, what's your winner? What do you want to win?
Well, definitely biased on what I want to win because I'm a PlayStation guy first and foremost. So Ratchet and Clank is what I want to win. What do I think will win? Maybe due to recency bias and also just because of how it blew up, after the weird marketing it got. I think Deathloop will probably win Game of the Year.
I agree with you there. I think Deathloop. I think it just has when I look at these games, Metroid, Psychonauts, Ratchet, and It Takes Two. I kind of get all those games as they each have different niche fan bases. Yeah. I feel like Resident Evil 8 and Deathloop grabs it's like a cast a wide net kind of thing.
But Resident Evil has been around long enough to not be niche.
Exactly.
And you could argue maybe Ratchet and Clank has too, but it's still one of those
action mascot action platform kind of thing.
Right.
Some people
Resident Evil is kind of iconic now.
Some people write that off just for being action.
Right.
But because of, like you said, the recency bias with Deathloop, I give that the nod over RE8, so what I think is going to win. Yeah. I was torn between Metroid and Ratchet, but since you picked Ratchet, I'll just pick Metroid. I'll
be happy with either. They're deserving of it.
Both those games. So. I don't even honestly remember what. I think I might have picked Metroid on my vote, but Ratchet was. I sat there and thought about that one.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Psychonauts 2 at some point. I did recently purchase It Takes Two. I'll play it at some point, and I do own Deathloop, and I'll play that. I've already played RE8. I really enjoyed RE8, but RE8's in my top 5, I'd say.
Yeah, no, really good game. I think I mentioned on one of the Daily Number podcasts that I definitely played that game on mode, but it was a really good time.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Good for me.
I'm watching a playthrough of it right now from RKG. That's really fun.
RKG video.
Watch someone play through that game for the first time.
Yeah.
So now that was the Game of the Year nominees. Sir Lumber, can you tell me the Game of the Year Player's Choice nominees?
Right.
Yep. This is the last 5. It was 30. It's been dwindled down really early, being late November like it is right now.
Right, yeah, they really cut it down.
Definitely not December 7th. This has been dwindled down to 5 games. What are those 5 games, Sir Lumber?
So we've got Forza 5, Halo Infinite for some reason. I guess because the multiplayer's out.
It got in there because of the multiplayer, and then people just
I'm not sure about that, but not that I'm not having a good time with it. Halo Infinite multiplayer is really, really fun. I feel like the full experience needs to be out before it should be considered, but that's fine. Yep. It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, and then RE8. So a lot of overlap there. I think the only one, Halo Infinite and Forza were the 2 in, and I guess Deathloop and Psychonauts were the 2 out compared to Game of the Year. So, you want to go ahead and give your prediction and want then for that category?
I'll just say, in some capacity, I've played all these games except for It Takes Two. I haven't quite put all the time to Forza that I probably should, but I've played it and I really enjoy it. I've done one race and then I drove around the whole map like a maniac.
Dude, the game is so good.
It's very fun.
It's really good.
I really do enjoy it. Halo's multiplayer is a damn good time. I can't wait for the campaign. But like I said, I'm just going to give it. I think RE8 will take it here, maybe. RE8, and I'll give my vote for Metroid again.
Yeah, so I put the in this category based on the top 5 that are there. I would like to see Metroid Dread win. Although I have played similar to you, all of these games except for It Takes Two, and so they're all deserving.
Yep.
I'm assuming It Takes Two is deserving as well based on what I've heard about it. I actually think Forza 5 might win.
Yep.
As far as my prediction goes, similar to my previous guess because of the recency. How it just came out in November, right? And it got rave reviews. People were giving it 10s across the board. So, but again, a very deserving category. Not very. These categories are not very contentious in my mind. Like the 2 Game of the Year categories, I'm like perfectly happy with.
Yep.
All of these games. I think Infinite's weird there, but I still really like it. So
interesting with this year is there's a lot of really good games, but no like last year I think it was Last of Us, Sekiro last year was Last of Us.
Year before. Last year was The Last of Us.
Last of Us, and then Sekiro was kind of a maybe a surprising win, but then the year before that was
really happy about it.
year before that was God of War, and the year before that was Breath of the Wild. So there was some more clear winners. This year's a little more up in the air, I guess. So that's interesting.
Well, and there's these sleeper hits that are coming out. Deathloop being a 10, Forza 4 was good, but Forza 5, oh my gosh, it's a 10. It's just kind of crazy. But not the blockbuster stuff that we've seen in the past.
I think next year's going to be nuts. If there's the new Breath of the Wild, the new God of War, Elden Ring, Starfield.
I don't know how I'm going to choose. It's going to be crazy. All those games could take up easily 100 hours of my time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just nuts.
Well, enough of the long, far out things. Let's talk about what we might see at this Game Awards. I just have basically Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, and then third party.
Sounds good.
Because I have the shortest amount on PlayStation, I figured we'd start with them.
Let's go for it.
Do you have any thing written down for PlayStation? Things you hope to see or want to see, might see?
I do have one thing that I thought of kind of last minute. So you want me to share that one?
Go ahead and get it out there.
Yeah. So would love to see some more Final Fantasy 16 news. Yep. So I bet you had that on your list.
I had it in my list in a little bit, it was on there, but what I said was, I want it. I don't think we're going to see it. We probably won't, but honestly, a little bit more, maybe some gameplay, even if it's a caveat with it's still alpha, blah blah blah. That's fine. I just want to see the moment to moment stuff. But that was my only. I think the only time we've seen that was the PlayStation 5 reveal event, right?
That's all I can think. Yeah, it was just
last
the one
September.
No, not even September. It must have been July or something because they did that reveal event.
Wasn't it really late though? This is they showed what the PlayStation looked like.
Yeah, I thought that was late summer, but either way,
it was late summer, early fall of.
That was the last and
2020.
only time. Yeah, that was the last and only time we've seen anything on Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
So.
I guess the Game Awards would make for a good stage to bring that back to the attention.
Sure.
They might show it and surprise me. That is what I want to see. I know it's a Square Enix game, but that's what I want to see from the PlayStation side because it's exclusive for now.
Right.
And then even more than Final Fantasy 16, I want to see Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, but that's clearly going to be after Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. And we got that. Where did we get that? Was it E3? We got that trailer. Where was that shown? That most recent trailer for Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Part 2.
Well, that was at the end of the DLC.
That was at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Spoiler alert.
No, they just gave you a 5-minute trailer. Right. It was
dude, that's why in my brain I was thinking that I watched that on YouTube or something. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was the biggest surprise of that DLC for me. It was cool. Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, it wasn't even connected to the DLC at all.
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't have a whole lot on PlayStation because PlayStation just had that. Not just had, but a couple months ago, had that big event where they showed God of War Ragnarok for the first time.
Right.
They revealed Spider-Man 2. They talked about Wolverine. All that stuff, they're not going to show again now. That's too
How
too
about,
quick.
So have you seen this quote, or I guess something from Jeff Keighley saying that there's going to be 40 to 50, game reveals, or new game reveals?
Yeah. So
thinking on that thread, thinking PlayStation exclusive, how about an Astrobot, fully fledged game, 3D.
So I'm there for that. They can have my money.
Oh,
they
I think
we'll see it. I don't know. I want to see that for sure.
Shot in the dark.
I think they're going to try to make Astrobot their family friendly mascot kind of guy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think they might. I mean, I think maybe that's not quite the audience they'll be hitting with the Game Awards. Maybe they
Right.
want to show that just like a general Sony event. But I'm down for another Astro Bot.
Yeah.
That game was great.
Yep. That would be cool.
Here's my thinking with a PlayStation. So Jeff Keighley, this is like his Oscars. Like he's making this like video game Oscars.
Right.
He wants to be a Hollywood guy. He's got Hollywood friends. He showed up in Death Stranding.
Yeah.
You know, he's got all these Hollywood events. He always has. You know, he had freaking the Fast and Furious guys to end the show that one time.
Yeah.
When the
Vin Diesel himself.
God, that was so dumb. But my man wants to be Hollywood, so why not have a movie trailer in here? I think they might show another Uncharted follow-up and then advertise that that Lost Legacy collection double pack thing they're putting on PS5 and PC.
I could totally see that happening. Yeah, for sure.
Like, they'll have like Tom Holland like make an appearance, and then he's gonna be Jeff Keighley's gonna be all excited.
Yeah, and he's gonna spoil everything for the new Spider-Man.
Exactly,
movie, right there on stage.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh gosh, if you see Tom Holland on stage, everyone's gonna immediately be like Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I don't think we'll see another Spider-Man. What if this is when they reveal Tobey Maguire? Tobey Maguire walks out on stage. Tobey Maguire walks out on stage for no reason. He talks about Spider-Man Miles Morales and leaves.
Yeah. They did not need to show anything else for that movie.
So all jokes aside, that's basically all I had for PlayStation because they're kind of an awkward distance between. They have some early games like I guess they have Horizon. Is it February? And then
I've already forgotten. Yeah,
I think it's
February, March.
Yeah, and then I think Gran Turismo is early year also. Maybe we'll see like a follow up on Horizon, like a quick gameplay trailer.
I mean, we got a pretty lengthy trailer from them last time that we saw it like in a formal setting. It was like a lengthy like gameplay. Like
we got that. I guess before the event with God of War and all that, right? That was like its own separate thing.
I think it was its own thing. I think it was.
So maybe they'll just do like a a quick like hype reel. It comes out in 2 months kind of thing.
Right.
Other than that,
I'm sure there will be lots of those like kind of hype reel type deals, like just like a minute long trailers or something like that, recapping like
That's my only real shot for like a big first party Sony game that I can. They're not gonna. They already have so much on the slate. I don't think they're going to show anything else until they start releasing some of those games. Like, you need to reveal more games. They got to get the other games out. Unless, of course, they come with Bloodborne on PS5, which we all know is going to happen.
I mean,
it's going to happen.
Upgrade, I would like it to happen, sure.
And then Bloodborne 2.
I've already played through the game 4 times. But
Blue Point's making Bloodborne 2. They're going to reveal it at the Game Awards.
Don't tease that because that's awesome. That would be
They're going to make a Demon's Souls quality Bloodborne 2.
Right.
And
I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust them. Anyone but FromSoft.
Oh, they're making the game. They're just going to get FromSoft to input on the story and the lore, consulting. But Blue Point's going to build the engine like Demon's Souls.
Right.
And it's going to be great.
Okay.
So you heard it here first.
I'll take it. Yeah, heard it here first.
So that's all I got for PlayStation. Let's hop on over to old Microsoft. You got anything on Microsoft written down?
The only thing I put down was, I guess, seeing more about Starfield. I'm, super excited for Space Skyrim. So
Space Skyrim. They just did. They talked about that. Todd Howard was people asked like, has Skyrim affected the way y'all started making Starfield? And he basically was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
He's like, we
didn't
think
you released that game 12 times, right?
He said we didn't think people were going to play Skyrim for 10 years, but
they kept releasing it.
Well, what I'm saying is they didn't. He claimed they kept releasing because people kept playing it and kept buying it, so that they weren't expecting that. So he says that he said something like vague, like they're making Starfield with the intention of a game you can play for 10 years. But it almost sounds like they're missing the point. Like, don't do that. Just make Space Skyrim.
Right.
But we might see Starfield. I think we will see Starfield at next E3. I think they're going to blow that game out next E3. I think we're going to see a bunch of it. We might see some sort of gameplay here. What I had written down for a big Microsoft game, this game I think debuted at the Game Awards 2 years ago when they showed the Series X for the first time, and that's Hellblade 2. I don't think we've seen Hellblade 2 other than like some development updates, maybe.
We've seen there's been like a very cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
Like one trailer that they released for that.
Yeah. So they revealed it, and then they brought it up again, like another trailer. I think we could see like a gameplay trailer here. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, sure. I never played the first one.
I didn't either, but that trailer got kind of scared me in the right way.
It was kind of spooky.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think we'll see some sort of like Halo ad, like buy Halo Infinite.
Because it will have just come out, the Wednesday before. Which
then maybe
weird.
they'll announce some sort of event or like get this on Game Pass if you download. One of those things. So I think we'll see like a literal Halo commercial.
Sure. Yeah. They do. I mean, it's an award show at the end of the day. These are ads, so it makes sense. Yeah. And
then the other Microsoft game I really want to see that we haven't seen in a while. I don't even know the last time we saw it actually. And speaking of Skyrim, is Avowed.
I just thought of Avowed. Yeah.
That game could be really cool. I think that game's made by the same people who make. It was like a
Is
splinter.
it Obsidian?
Yeah, it's like a splinter off of the people who made Skyrim and Fallout, and they broke off and made what was it? So they broke off from Bethesda and they made Outer Worlds.
Right. And this is Obsidian, right?
Obsidian,
or is it a different company? Okay, yeah.
Obsidian. They made Outer Worlds, which is like their Fallout clone, and then they started making Avowed, which is like their Skyrim.
Well, they
clone.
also made Fallout New Vegas, if you remember, like even earlier, like way.
Was
before.
that Obsidian?
I think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't want to misspeak.
Well, it definitely was those people at some point. What I'm getting at is they broke off of Bethesda to make Outer Worlds, and then they're going to make Avowed, and then Microsoft bought them back.
Now we're going to absorb you back in.
And now you're just like this other weird black sheep version of this other company making the same games again, which is kind of funny.
You're like the new guys come into the just all these companies been bought. You sit down at your new desk, like, oh, hey Jim, aren't you still Bethesda? Like, oh yeah, traitor.
I hate you.
I hate you. Yeah.
I think seeing Avowed would be cool. I hope it's just literally Skyrim again. I hope it's just like a new looking Skyrim, and they just it's like they're a hat trick. They're just like buy new Skyrim. That's all I've got for Microsoft. Anything come to your mind in that?
No. Good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's. I guess Forza. I don't know. Do they do DLC in Forza?
I didn't play Forza Horizon 4 from the beginning, and so by the time I got around to playing that, it had been 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things that they regularly update.
Yeah.
There's seasonal things going on. I don't think they expand the map or anything. So I doubt anything big would come from that.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna see Fable or Perfect Dark,
Probably
any
not.
of those games that are more a little further out there.
Right.
So
you never know. 40 to 50 reveals.
Yeah, there's going to be 30 random indie games that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to good old Nintendo, which is
oh yeah,
always the wild card at every event ever.
Yeah.
It's are they going to blow the doors off, or are they going to do literally nothing? I have, I guess, a few. I'll start off with a really simple one that I think is maybe a boring one, I guess, is my answer. And I'm thinking maybe we'll see another trailer for that Kirby game. Because I think they said spring, and then the game got rated in Taiwan or Australia. One of those places that rates games before the ESRB rates them.
Yeah.
So I feel like the game's probably close to ready, and maybe they'll show a little more variety in the gameplay, and they'll give some an actual announce.
Maybe it'll sell me on it because I'm not really sold on it yet.
Yeah, it's like mini Mario Odyssey, I think, baby's first Mario Odyssey.
It's exactly.
So
which is what I don't want.
I think they could maybe if they throw in some spin on it that wasn't revealed during the initial trailer, give some cool variety in there. Maybe they'll. I don't know. I think it could be a pretty simple thing they could throw in there.
Yep.
Anything on your list from Nintendo?
Let's see. So I think it's reasonable to expect maybe we'll finally get a Breath of the Wild 2 name trailer and maybe a release date. I don't know. I'd like to know the name of the game. I feel like we should be able to know the name.
Here's the thing with Breath of the Wild, because that's on my list too. That's like the elephant in the room. Breath of the Wild 2. The thing with Breath of the Wild 2 is I feel like when they finally decide to show it like in its full capacity, they're going to show it in its full capacity. Like they can't like half show it again. They have to show it again.
Yeah. Well, the last trailer we got was like it was pretty good. I mean, obviously lots of questions still.
When you look back at that trailer though, it's like a minute long.
Yeah.
Like a minute 20, but like 20 seconds of that is like the castle sitting there, and they didn't show a title again. So I feel like when they do show it with the title, they're gonna like blow the doors off of it.
Right, and there's all this speculation about what the title, like the impact on the story, like because there's all these things, but they have to tell us eventually. It can't be like the spoilery thing that makes no sense.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up with you. That's actually one of the things I was gonna ask you because they've mentioned before. Bill Trennan, he's like a higher up marketing guy at Nintendo of America. He mentioned that they're not saying the title. They have the title in hand. They know what it is.
Yeah,
they're not saying it because it's going to hint at some of the story or like elements of the game.
But that's always going to be the case whenever they tell us.
Exactly. So, if they told us a year ago, or if they told us a month before the game comes out, people are going to dissect that to hell. And it's like people are like, it's not like you're going to be able to keep it secret. Like, oh, they won't be able to crack our secret. Like, and I feel like
you can't. I mean, when in gaming history you have developers named a game that spoils the game, like so it doesn't. They can't.
The Legend of Zelda, you play as Ganondorf.
Yeah, Link dies.
Link dies. The Legend of Zelda, Link dies. Oh god, that's a little on the nose.
Okay. I wonder what to expect from this.
The Legend of Zelda, it was all a dream the whole time. Oh, okay, that was weird.
Oh man.
But I don't know what they mean by that. Like, of course it is. That's what a title does.
And this is gonna come out. It's gonna be like Breath of Darkness. Like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I hope it's not something like super vague. Like, I don't know, but like, it just. I don't know what. I mean, maybe they're gonna surprise us. The title will actually be something like, ooh, mysterious.
Yeah. It'd be nice if it was something like intriguing and thought provoking. But if they really named it something that's that like much of a giveaway, why'd you? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but
another quote from Bill Trennan. This is what I was going to get. The thing I mentioned to you. I want to get your input on. He gave this like vague comment about when we're going to see Breath of the Wild 2 again. This is like right after they showed it in June. He says, we will see the uniqueness of the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild
That's a mouthful.
in the coming months to the next year or so. So
most non-committal thing.
So
in the
people,
next 2 to 12 months.
So I hear two things with this. In the coming months, if he says we'll see it in the coming months, that says we're going to see it at the Game Awards. If he just said in the next year or so, that says we're going to see it at E3.
Right.
Is that just him buying? I'm not answering this question. Do you think there's any chance at all we'll see it in the coming months means we're going to see it at the Game Awards? Do you think that?
I think that part of it, yes. I mean, because when was it? In June?
June.
When E3, right? So yeah.
So coming months means December, like that. Like,
it could very reasonably be that. So I don't know. Maybe they probably don't have at that point. They may not have known when they. Because the world is in such a crazy state, and it has been for the last year and a half. So, like, plans are always changing. So, yeah.
I've been in here the whole time. I haven't gone outside. I don't know what's going on.
What's been happening?
I don't have any internet. I just talk to you occasionally.
And then post it, like, blindly to YouTube.
Yeah. I think that what that statement clearly means, they're just buying a, get out of jail free card. If the game is coming out, say they wanted the game to come out July 2022. That's just a made-up date. We'll see it at the Game Awards. If the game's coming out in November, I think it'll show it at E3.
Right.
Or like an early direct.
Another little thing. Yeah. If it's a year away from releasing, why? There's no reason to show it.
Exactly. Here. So that's basically what I land on Zelda. It just whether they show it now is whether or not they're ready to release it in 6 months.
Right.
One thing I am interested in possibly seeing. There's been, for years now, there's been rumors of the Metroid Prime trilogy. And there's the rumors for in and out. Everyone's like, oh, Metroid Prime trilogy is coming to Switch. They're just going to port it from the Wii U, blah, blah, blah. And then in like the last 4 or 5 months, that rumor like morphed into it's not Metroid Prime Trilogy. It's a Metroid Prime 1 remake. I think.
I mean, that's
sure,
cool.
Maybe, yeah. I think if we're gonna see this, because apparently it's supposed to come out in 2022. That's the new thing. I think while Metroid has the spotlight as a Game of the Year candidate, that'd be a good opportunity to be like, hey, look at this other Metroid game you can buy from us.
Yeah.
Because Metroid has always had not always, but it's not the most like widely, I guess, popular property. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So I think a good opportunity to market that game would be while they're also celebrating the other new Metroid game possibly winning Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a cool time to show it if they.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's kind of strange if they are only remaking the first one.
Yeah.
Because then what happens to because if the goal is to obviously bring in a new audience because it's been a while since Metroid Prime 3 released, you're going to remake the first one and then what happens to 2 and 3? I don't know. It's just a weird spot.
That whole thing. What people have speculated that people who actually don't know what's talking. What I've read people speculating is, what if Retro was always going to make this HD trilogy for the Switch? The plan was, Retro, this is what you're doing. We've got Bandai Namco making Metroid Prime 4. You're making Metroid Prime trilogy for the Switch, and then they started doing it, and they're remaking Metroid Prime 1, and then Bandai Namco Metroid Prime 4 is not looking good, so they scrap that and they say, okay, stop doing what you're doing. You're doing this now. And we only really got the first one done. They're like, it's too bad.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
just port the other two.
Exactly. So maybe it's like a remake of one and then like a port of the other two.
Yeah.
Who
Here's
knows?
what they'll do. They'll remake Metroid Prime 1. Okay. Then they add the Wii expansion pack to the Nintendo Switch Online and add Metroid Prime 2 and 3 to that. Additional $30 a year.
Additional.
Additional, yeah. So we're up to 90 now.
We're up to 90.
No, 80 because it's 50 and that. So up to $80 a year.
Yep.
But you get Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Yes, that sounds like. Oh, and also Sega 32X or something, whatever other Sega console is.
Yeah.
To really sweeten the pot, we're going to give you Atari classics. We're going to throw them in there with it, and you're going
launching exclusively alongside the Wii. And when I say Wii, you get these two games, and we'll give you Wii Sports.
You know what? You mentioned that. Just this is off topic, but since you brought it up, I'm going to say it real quick. I think Nintendo's going to make a Wii Mini, but it's only just going to be Wii Sports. It's just like they're going to sell you a $100 tiny Wii with Wii Sports on it, and be like, you like? And we're like, okay, I like it. I'll buy it.
I have that crap in my closet over there.
Yeah.
So no.
They're going to totally do it. It's going to be just like a little tiny rectangle. And then they're going to sell this goofy little controller. I want to play bowling.
With all of your modern crap around you, all the newest stuff. Put that aside.
I just want to play bowling. I really.
I want to play bowling.
It's really all I want to do here.
Nintendo just knows the way to my heart. They just know what I'm looking for.
And they're like, that's our big release for the year. I do good.
We were good for another year, right?
Good for another year. Here we go. Last hope rumor expectation for Nintendo is people talking a lot about Xenoblade 3.
I have that on my list too. Yeah,
I think that'd be cool to see Xenoblade 3 here. Yep. The Game Awards is a big Western audience. I think it could be a good chance to show a Western-focused audience a game that's popular, a JRPG, that is growing in popularity, but maybe not like super. It's still kind of niche over here.
Right.
I think it would be a good time to show it.
I'd be really interested to see, what that shows about the story of the game because, I won't spoil it, especially because you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet. But they're kind of separate. I'd just be curious to see how they go into the next, the next game. So, and maybe that'd be the kick in the pants I need to actually play the DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I have not done that yet.
Yep, I recently got that on sale.
Yep.
All right, here's the wild cards. We got the third-party games.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to get one out of the way that is like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be here because it's one of those things where like, there's like people saying things are leaked and there's like companies accidentally like leaking things. This is one of those. So if you remember a couple months ago, there was that NVIDIA computer leak thing where like a list of games, like
Yep.
one of those games was a Chrono Cross remake. Everyone's like, that's kind of weird. Who knows if this list is real? And then like one by one, like all these random games are showing up from this list. And then another thing pointing to this Chrono Cross remake. There was a, for no real reason, no specific reason, there was a mobile game called Another Eden, where there's a tie-in with Chrono Cross randomly. And then if you go into like the people found in the game's code, there's a quote. In honor of the release of the Chrono Cross remaster, a special Complex Dream episode is launching. So the game exists, I guess, is what people are saying. And
is it before or after Chrono Trigger?
So I'll get to that. It's a Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is a sequel to Chrono Trigger, and then people were like, "Well, why would they not make Chrono Trigger? That's like like one of the most highly respected games of all time, and Chrono Cross is like the weird stepbrother that like released on the PS1 that no one really cared about."
I haven't played either. So.
I looked into it and what people were saying about this and why, and the basic consensus that I thought made sense was a big artist you might know of, Akira Toriyama. I guess his art house or studio, whatever you want to call it, they own some of the rights to the character design of Chrono Trigger and not Chrono Cross. I think they own some of the music of Chrono Trigger also. So I think if you want Chrono Trigger to happen, there's a little more money that has to exchange hands, so to say.
Yeah.
I think Chrono Cross Square has more full ownership of, I guess, with that.
That makes sense, I guess. I mean, I want to play Chrono Trigger though.
So I think Chrono Cross is a direct sequel to that game, which would be weird to have that game remade without.
Yeah. Well, that means I wouldn't play it. I would want to find some way to play Trigger.
Exactly.
So yeah.
But I think that game's a lock. People are still unsure if it's going to be like a PlayStation exclusive or a PS5 exclusive, what have you. I would say it's probably going to be like maybe a PlayStation limited time exclusive. PS4, PS5 kind of thing. And then I also don't know people. I don't know if it's going to be like a remaster. What remaster means? Does remaster mean like Final Fantasy VIII remaster, where it's just like a modern version of a PS1 game, or is it like a remake?
Right. The Final Fantasy VII remake.
I take remaster as literally just being a coat of paint with some modern features.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a remake. I think it's a
Yep.
Did you have any other third-party games listed?
No, I wasn't able to think of more front. Yeah. I did have a couple of Nintendo games, but
oh yes.
Maybe...
Well, I didn't know. I forgot to ask if you had any more.
No, it's okay. We don't have to linger on them too long. I just got pie in the sky, shot in the dark, just random thing.
Maybe maybe you can just shout those. Just shout them out.
Yeah, just 3D Mario game.
Okay, here we go.
I want the next 3D Mario game, like an Odyssey 2 or whatever. And then it'd be really cool to see another Fire Emblem, because I'm big into that series now, just after playing one. So.
Well, I would also love to see both those games. I think. Oh, here's another tie-in. Maybe Jeff Keighley with his big Hollywood brain. Maybe this is where we see the first trailer for the Mario movie.
Oh, hey, it'd be a year out.
And then what happens? He gets his Hollywood star. Chris Pratt walks out there. It's me, Mario.
No, they confirm he's not doing the act.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hey, it's me, Mario. I guess.
It's me, Star Lord. I mean Mario.
Star Lord. Andy Dwyer. Jurassic Park guy.
Jurassic. I didn't know his name in that.
I know. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. Maybe I would like to see a 3D Mario game based off the 3D Mario movie, based off the 3D Mario game.
Wow. Wow. That's a thread to
follow
there.
Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
He's so cool.
Chris Pratt and I want to see Seth Rogen go out there in a Donkey Kong outfit.
Yeah, for sure.
Next third-party game, I have three more. Couple I'm kind of serious about. One's kind of, whatever. I forget what his full name is, but his last name's Mustard. So I'm gonna call him Mr. Mustard. He's a Epic Games, like a big Fortnite guy. He's gonna be there.
I've never heard of this guy.
He's gonna be there, and I'm sure they'll just do some sort of Fortnite event announcement, or like reveal a character or some. Fortnite's on like several
don't care
categories. It's on
about this
several
game.
categories for the Game Awards. I'm sure they're going to show something Fortnite related. I mean,
Yeah.
it
I just
seems
don't
kind of
care.
like a given.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Mustard's going to show something.
Mr. Mustard himself. Wow.
Next one. This one was teased by Jeff Keighley. I forget the exact context, but basically someone asked him on Twitter if he liked Sonic, and he's like, "Oh, I love Sonic." I think they're going to show. They might show that new 3D Sonic
Yeah.
game.
Why
here.
not? Yeah.
They've been like trying to show it for like 2 years, and it keeps getting
Yeah.
like delayed and like soft announced, but like not actually
Yeah.
announced.
Yeah.
I think we might see that here, or maybe like, it'd be cool to see like a Sonic Mania 2. I think those developers wanted to do something else now. I don't think they're actually working on Sonic Mania 2.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the next 3 Sonic game would be cool to
Very
see
well
here.
could.
We could
Yeah.
all meme on Sonic. Maybe he has another human girlfriend we could all be questionable of.
Yeah.
It is the 15. Like I think it's been like 15 years since Sonic 06, which is a highly
Oh,
regarded game.
big
in which
landmark. Yeah.
Sonic
Landmark
kisses
year.
a real human woman on the mouth. So I think that'd be really cool to really
You need to
celebrate
bring that back. You got to bring that back.
Really celebrate that. Hit home with what people really want to see from Sonic.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just see maybe some Sonic.
Yeah. Why not?
Speaking of real human women, I'm thinking we might see some Resident Evil 8 DLC here.
Oh yeah, they've been teasing that for a while.
They announced
Yeah.
it at did they announce it at E3? They mentioned it. At some event they mentioned they were working on it.
Yeah, something like that. If it wasn't E3, it was some other obscure
It was
event.
one
But
of those
yeah, that
events
was like
they had their whole show, and it was like nothing
Yeah.
happened, and then
Yeah.
and we're announcing we're doing Resident Evil
Yeah.
DLC. Everyone's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah,
of course you
well,
are.
duh.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
What would you like to see from a Resident Evil 8 DLC?
I hadn't thought about this. So, I don't know. It would have to. I mean, how spoilery do you want to get? Because that
We can
influences-
mention characters, I guess, but not like a plot, I guess.
I don't
Here's
know
what
how
I'll
I
say.
can mention it
I think a House Dimitrescu, Lady Dimitrescu like prequel.
Oh yeah.
play
Oh,
it.
that would be cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
You get to be the
I-
big
I didn't
vampire
think
lady herself.
Yeah, they could go. They could do a lot of stuff with a prequel. If they're doing something that follows up the game
Yeah.
in any capacity, that I don't want to mention it
Yeah.
in front.
I think a
spoilers,
prequel
but-
would be easier to do than a follow-up.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, that was, I mean, probably the coolest area of the game for me was that castle. I
Yeah.
mean, you spend a pretty much equal amount of time in all locations.
Yeah.
But that was the one I was looking forward to the most going into the game. So it would be cool to get more of that. Yeah.
I agree. That game, like I said, I liked it a lot. It'd be a good chance to show off some DLC. That it's going to be
Yeah.
in multiple categories. It's at the Game of the Year. It's at the Game of the Year nominees. I mean,
Yep.
I think that'd be a good chance to show it off.
Yep.
Cool. Any other out there predictions? Anything on your mind?
No, nothing that comes to mind immediately. I think we pretty
Yeah.
well. And like I've said, there's supposed to be a bunch of game reviews, a bunch of we had never heard of. I'm sure some of them will look pretty cool, and I still won't pick up because I don't have time.
Yeah, there's
But,
probably gonna be some good indie games. They'll show up. Third-party games that like. That's the thing with the Game
Silk
Awards.
Song?
It's. I think that'll be in a Nintendo thing.
Just throwing that out there.
I think. Yeah, I hope so.
You never
but
know.
I feel like I feel like Nintendo's probably got some money helping them out, and they're gonna
Yeah.
get the promotion rights
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
I will say though, whether the Game Awards is quality all the way through, it is like a 3-hour show, so there's a
Yep.
lot of stuff they show. Something
Yep.
cool's bound to show up in there.
For sure.
So we'll have to
It'd be a
be.
good time.
Last thing I want to hear from you, over under, or what do you think? Will the last reveal be something stupid like it has been like every other year? Or will it actually be something good?
Well, I don't.
Are we
remember,
talking
like,
Vin Diesel level, like
Yeah,
Fast
yeah.
and Furious PS2 game?
Yeah,
Or are we talking?
I was mad. Heated, bro. I don't. Did he get? Did they ever? They never acknowledged that, right? Because obviously there was definitely memes that came from that.
You talking? Did
like,
Jeff
happening.
Keighley ever acknowledge that?
Did he? Yeah, I
I'm
assume
sure
no.
he didn't. He took his
Yeah.
money and got the hell out of there for that one.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I ask is because it's like, is anyone listening to like the audience? But this is one of those things where it's a Game Awards. Like it's just their ads.
Yeah.
So it could very well be something silly again.
What was the last thing they
so-
showed last year? I don't remember.
Wasn't it Fast and the Furious?
Or was it the year? I thought it was the year before. Was it last year?
Oh, if that wasn't last year, then I don't remember. Yeah, I thought that was last year.
It might have been last year.
Maybe
That
not.
pissed me off so much that it might have been last year actually that you mentioned it. I don't know.
You erased it from your brain.
Yeah, that game got terrible reviews, by the way. I know. I was like, okay.
I'm aware.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Last thing, we probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but Jeff Keighley did his normal, hyping up. That's his job. He's like a salesman for this. He said there are 3 to 4 things on the Elden Ring level of reveal.
Well, first of all, it's very subjective.
It's very subjective.
And if you're going to make that claim, that means he thinks he has some understanding for.
Yep.
And FromSoft games are super popular. There's a very devout following to those games. Like, okay, we're talking on the scale of, some first party Sony games.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. It's just like he's full of crap.
It's a big game. If there is one announcement of that general quality,
there's probably going to be
a reveal of some sort of. There's one of those, I would be happy with that.
But 3, 4, 5, no. Come on.
If there I will personally congratulate him. I will message him on Twitter and tell him how much I love him.
Yeah. Well, how about here? I'm covered here because, like I said, but here on the show, I will eat my shoe if there are 4 Elden Ring sized.
And this is subjective to you, right? Like this is like what
it's
you
subjective to me. I get the final call. All 4 are on that level.
Okay.
They have to be big enough to me. Just like Elden Ring is very big to me.
Okay. That makes sense.
You heard it here.
I heard it here. I will keep you to that. I will be taking a tally mark. Every time something happens, I'll look over. Oh,
you gotta see my reaction.
Is he like this, or is he like this? If you like that's if a full jaw drop, that's 1 tally.
Now, if I just take my glasses off and just start crying, then all right.
If you float into the sky and just dissolve into light, then I'll count that as one.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Thank you, Slimmer, for joining me. I'm pretty excited. Game Awards, 2 days from now? I'll be watching it live. We'll probably do some sort of video at some point afterwards talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe all the things shown, favorite things of the event, all that good stuff.
And I'll eat my shoe live on camera. So
that's going to be a great video. Just no context, no title, just like a 45-minute video. Just fully zoomed in.
Just me.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. I think it's going to win Game of the Year, and what we want to see win Game of the Year. The nominees are Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Metroid Dread, It Takes Two, Resident Evil 8, and
you're repeating yourself here.
Is that really?
Yeah.
What was the last one?
I don't know. Honestly, I lost track. We're just gonna start over.
One more time, another cut. Okay.
Yeah, maybe have the list in front of you.
Damn it! Let me type it. Okay.
But just have it in front of you.
Metroid.